In a season full of next man up mentality, that just continued to reign true for San Francisco in this most recent playoff game against the Eagles. With their starting safety and Ji'Ayir Brown going down, for instance, they had to turn to the rookie Marques Sigle, their 5th round selection out of Kansas State. And to say he balled out would be an understatement. Not only did he lead the entire team in solo tackles with 7, he also had a key pass breakup and showcased his insane 4.37 speed. So in this video, I wanted to go over one of the more athletic safeties across the league in Marques Sigle and why I believe he's going to be a long-term starter for this team headed forward. And initially, to start out, probably to no one's surprise, the first thing that really stands out on his game is the range he plays with, which is really demonstrated by his relative athleticism score of 9.53 out of 10, which takes into account your height, weight, and other combine measurables like your 40-yard dash. To start to illustrate how this directly translates to the football field, here on this play, San Francisco's defense is running a cover 3 variation, specifically the running cover 3 buzz, because right here you can see how Malik Mustafa is buzzing down to this hook curl zone. Meanwhile, you have Marques Sigle dropping to the deep third. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, you have the Eagles running a play action pass to hopefully suck up some of San Francisco's defenders. Specifically, they would really like to see Marques Sigle be sucked up into this congestion so they're able to hit AJ Brown on the bottom of the screen with a deep post pattern. They also have their tight end almost running a little whip route towards the top of the screen, and you also have Saquon Barkley breaking out to the flats. But because the underneath defenders on this play, you can see how Jalen Hurts is almost immediately looking deep. And paying attention to Marques Sigle specifically on this play, I love how he confirms his tight end isn't going to release on the seam pattern and potentially challenge him over the top. And once he's able to confirm that, he gets his eyes on AJ Brown, and here you get to see his insane speed. Even though Brown probably has a step on him and also has all of this distance to work with, look how Marques Sigle just eats up all of this space. It's really hard to get behind him because of this speed, and because of his background as a cornerback, he's able to put his hand right in on the ball and break up a deep pass. So you can see how on this play, sure, Marques Sigle is extremely athletic, but he's also pretty fundamentally sound. And I think headed forward, you'd only expect him to continue to improve with more reps at the safety position. Another thing Sigle's athleticism and play recognition allows you to do is get pretty aggressive as a defensive coordinator. Here on this play, for instance, San Francisco is sending the blitz with Stout, and then on the back half, you have man coverage besides Malik Mustafa, who's responsible to basically be the eraser on this play, meaning no player can get behind him. But paying attention to Sigle, he has the biggest challenge in man coverage as he's responsible for Smith, one of the Eagles' better wide receivers, breaking out hard to the flats. But almost instantly on this play, you can see how Sigle is able to identify this outbreaking pattern to the flats and starts breaking that direction. And even though Hurts hits him pretty early in on this play, look at how much distance Sigle is covering. He's getting there before this wide receiver is able to fully get to this first down marker, and I love how he breaks down in the open field and makes this tackle. Sigle didn't miss a single tackle in this game, and without him right here, it could have easily been a touchdown. And it's not even just a tackle, he's really punishing Smith for picking up any yards on San Francisco's defense and making them think twice. If you are going to make a catch like this, no, I'm going to come up and blow you up. And like I was saying earlier, it's really hard to underappreciate how great Sigle is in the open field. Many players and many safeties wouldn't have been able to break down and make this change of direction like Sigle and come through with such a brutal blow. But Sigle has the athleticism necessary to be a truly elite safety at the NFL level. Another underappreciated aspect of Sigle's man coverage and zone coverage abilities, in my opinion, is how he's a true ball hawk. During his senior year at Kansas State, for instance, he led the entire team with 3 interceptions, and in this most recent Eagles game, he nearly notched another. And I think headed forward, if he just gets a little bit more playing time, he'll be in a little bit better of position and start running these the other direction. Outside of Sigle's pass coverage abilities, he's also a phenomenal run defender and offers a ton of versatility for San Francisco's defense. Here on this play, for instance, Sigle is rotating up into a box safety type of role, which basically makes him another linebacker for San Francisco's defense. And on this play, he's playing it like a linebacker. He takes his read step, identifies the running play, almost instantly sheds his block from this wide receiver, meets Barkley in the hole, and makes the open field tackle once again. You have to realize, Barkley is an all-pro type of player, Sigle's a rookie, but nevertheless, he shows no fear to his game and is able to consistently make these tackles on Barkley. I also really like seeing Sigle's technique with his double hand swipe on this play. It's pretty elite for such a young player, and like I said earlier, he's only going to get better with more playing reps. It's also worth noting that Sigle has the versatility to be sent on blitzes both in the running game and passing game. Here on this play, for instance, you can see how he's timing up his blitz perfectly with the cadence of Jalen Hurts' snap, which allows him to avoid this wide receiver's block, get into the backfield, and make a tackle on Barkley for no gain. In addition to all of this versatility Sigle offers your defense, he's also just a phenomenal run support safety, as he almost always instantly identifies the play. Here on this play, for instance, he's taking his read step, and as soon as he's reading it, he's shooting with no hesitation in his game, but it's not reckless. Watch how he breaks down and starts reading exactly where Barkley's going. And even though there's a huge offensive lineman making their way up to the second level, Sigle's able to dip underneath his pads, stay strong, and make the tackle on Barkley. This is pretty rare to see out of a safety. You don't even see this out of linebackers a lot of the times. Another aspect of Sigle's run defense I really like is how he's an eraser as a run defender. To really illustrate what I'm talking about, here on this play, you can see how Malik Mustafa is coming up pretty aggressively, misses his tackle, but then Sigle is right there to clean it up. This is the difference often between a touchdown for a team and maybe just a big gain. I'd much rather see Sigle make this adjustment and make this tackle than Barkley break off a huge run. I mean, it was a big run, but it wasn't a touchdown. And as much as I like Sigle's athleticism, I also love his brain, because honestly, this is what allows him to fully utilize his athleticism. Here on this play, for instance, he uses this pre-snap identifier of two tight ends to the strong side to tell him it's probably a run that direction based off his film study. And then post-snap, you can see how he has no hesitation in his game coming up, and I love how he's not recklessly shooting that direction to take away any cutback opportunities, and as soon as he sees Barkley breaking down the field, once again, he's making the open field tackle. Outside of Sigle's ability just against backs though, he also does a nice job of coming up when the quarterback breaks outside of the pocket and decides to run. I know he had that penalty in this game, but honestly, right here, I'm not sure what else Sigle could have done. Hurts could have easily not slid, and it seemed like they were matching up their slide and hit at the same time. The NFL is just pretty hard on defenders nowadays. All of this isn't to say Marques Sigle isn't without his flaws, as he needs to continue to get more reps so he can get more comfortable at the NFL level, but based on this Eagles game, I think he needs to continue to start for San Francisco's defense. He offers unmatched range, and honestly, headed forward, he could be a player that puts San Francisco over the top against the Seahawks or maybe in the Super Bowl. But ultimately, these are just some of my thoughts about San Francisco's breakout rookie and Marques Sigle, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about him down below. Do you think he should continue to start like I do, or would you rather see San Francisco go back to Ji'Ayir Brown once he's healthy? It would also mean a ton to me if you did enjoy this video, if you could go ahead and like and subscribe. It truly helps out the channel a ton, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.